Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be kicking off a segment called Reflections, Tales of Autos Past, where we will talk about cars that I've owned in the past. If I have pictures or photos, I'll share them with you. If not, I'll find pictures and photos of something similar. Maybe even give you the backstory on how I came to acquire the vehicle, what I liked about it, what I disliked about it, and why I sold it, or if I still have it. So first, we're going to talk about a car that I just had a couple of years ago. I was surfing the interwebs looking for something very fast, something that could shove a little bit. And I came across a 2003 Audi S8 in Ming Blue on Platinum. And when I tell you this car was clean from the pictures, cleaner than most I've seen, I mean it was very clean. I called the man immediately, and he told me that he had somebody coming to buy the car and that they were on their way. I said, well, let me know what happens. I was so impatient that after about an hour I called him again, and he told me that the guy was still currently looking at the car and that he would call me back. He calls me back another half hour later and tells me that the car didn't sell. The man who was looking at it drove an S4 and it was for his son. And his son didn't want the big S8. So we made a deal. I wired him a deposit, gave him my itinerary, and flew out from Detroit to Hartford, Connecticut. And to my luck, that was during that whole nor'easter, hurricane-like winter storm we had a few years back. I think it was in 2018, 17, I don't remember exactly. 17, I believe it was. So we flew out there, picked it up. On the way back, it started to snow, and its snow got turned into a storm. We found a hotel that had a parking structure because I wanted to park it indoors. We checked in at like 4 p.m. My wife and I checked in, parked the car, and just got some food, rented a couple of movies, chilled until the next morning, and then made it back to Detroit with one stop in Pittsburgh to see a friend. Not a single issue with that car. What a car it was. It's one of the few that I really, really wanted to keep. I didn't want to sell it. However, after about a year of ownership, I began to smell a little bit of what I thought was burning oil. So I thought that, it's probably just the valve covers. So I took a look at it, and valve covers were fine. It turned out to be the output shaft seal. And nobody would do it. Nobody wanted to touch the car, none of the usual people I deal with. So I took it to a specialist, and we went ahead and we did 2 transmission flushes while we were at it. Did one first, drove the car a little bit, then did the output shaft seal and did another one. Just because those cars are known for having transmission issues and higher mileage, and it was perfect, and I wanted to keep it that way. So after getting it fixed, I had a few other cars at the time. I put it up for sale. And while doing some research online for some other photos for this video, I found a web page called German Cars for Sale, and they actually posted it on their website when I listed it for sale on eBay. I made back what I paid for it and what I paid to fix it, and maybe a little bit more. But it was a really nice car. It was one of the cleanest ones I had seen in a while. A lot of them, because they came down in price, became very affordable to people, and they started not taking care of them, beating them up. So as far as pros, it's a big, comfortable, fast car. And it's light for a big car. It's the size of an S-Class. And it doesn't weigh as much. I think it comes in just over 4,000 pounds because the chassis and the body are Audi's space frame, all aluminum. So that plays a big part in keeping the weight down. That accompanied with the Quattro all-wheel drive system, and that thing handled like it was on rails. It was beautiful. And I think the D2, which is that chassis, Audi S8, is one of the prettiest, conservatively prettiest cars of its time. Cons. This first one isn't so much a con as it is an inconvenience. Older German cars are going to need maintenance, going to need repairs, and they're not cheap and not the easiest to work on. But that's the price you pay. And you should pay to get them done right, instead of just having anybody work on them. Either you do it yourself or you find somebody who knows what they're doing. The other con that comes to mind, to me and to most enthusiasts, they only came in automatic in North America. I don't know why. Maybe they thought people who buy big cars don't want to roll their own gears. But the fact that we couldn't get it in a manual is probably one of the biggest cons of that car. I can only imagine how much livelier it would be and how much more fun to drive if it had a 6-speed manual. Would I buy it again? Absolutely. For what I paid for it, for the right price, yes. I would buy that car again in a heartbeat. And I would probably pay close to twice as much for that car if it were manual. Let me know what you think. Do you like the S8? What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? Would you buy one if you had the chance, if you found the right one? And let me know what other cars that you're interested in knowing about. Chances are I may have owned one, or if I haven't owned one, maybe I can find one and let you know what I think.